Hi guys, I'm Stephen Edwards and I'm the Director of Cheltenham Tax Accountant. So I just want to talk about pricing because it's one of the most popular pages on our website, and to be honest, pretty much any website. If I'm buying some new software, I tend to go on the pricing page to get a feel for the pricing. So your first instinct is to probably scroll down. You might have already done this and you've had a quick glance at these prices. So these prices are not fixed set prices. We don't provide fixed packages where one size fits all. It's a bit like a shopping basket when you go shopping. Comparing different people's shopping basket depends what's in the basket, and I guess where you're shopping in terms of what service you're looking for from us as a firm of accountants. So these are literally just examples. So just to walk through these examples, this would be a fairly small limited company where you want us to do your annual accounts, you want us to do your personal tax return, you want us to probably do your confirmation statement, and you want us to give you the advice to make sure you're compliant, you're tax efficient as a limited company. That's a fairly standard price. If you're a contractor, as you can see up here, it says prices start from this amount. So not to be confused with these prices, these are example mixes of services. So a contractor can start from £69, but if you also add your personal tax return and your confirmation statement and a few other bits and bobs, you're probably looking at around the £100 bracket. If you're a self-employed person, we're typically looking at around £67 a month if you've got turnover of around 50k. If you're smaller than that, so say your turnover is about 10k, 20k, or you're just starting, you're probably looking at around the £35 a month mark. But we don't just like to throw numbers at you. Let me give you an example how we price our services. So if you booked in a discovery call, which you can do up here, book an intro call, what we like to do with people is go through our pricing and provide a proposal quote exactly for your circumstances. So this is the system we use. We use some software called Go Proposal, and effectively it's a menu. So what we do is we go through and we look at your circumstances. So let's pretend you're a limited company, and forget the dates for a moment because that's something we would talk through if you booked a meeting with us. But you would need your annual accounts completed, typically. We then ask you, how do you want to do your bookkeeping? Are you going to do your own bookkeeping, or do you want us to do your bookkeeping? Let's pretend you are doing your own bookkeeping. So we don't need to worry about bookkeeping here at the moment, but we can do the bookkeeping for you. We can also do your VAT returns and lots of other different bits and bobs, but I won't go into super detail right now. You might want us to do your payroll. If you're a limited company, you typically want to pay yourself as a director because you can save corporation tax, you can qualify for state pensions and lots of other benefits. So you might want us to do your payroll. I'll leave these things off for the moment. There are some extras. You might want us to do your dividend voucher paperwork. You might want some insurances to cover yourself in case you get investigated. But we've explained that in more detail if you booked a meeting. You might want us to add on your software. So if you're doing your own bookkeeping, you might want us to manage your subscription with Xero directly. So we can just charge you as part of our monthly fee, also your Xero fee, so you don't have two separate payments. And finally, you might typically want us to do your personal tax return. So I'm just going to show you what that particular package would look like. But, oops, I've not actually got everything on there. So we just need to select your turnover. So there's a slight modifier for the size of business you are. So for a limited company, you're generally going to be at least the 30k bracket. You might be a bit smaller if you're just starting, but typically this would be the range, often a lot bigger than this. So this would be how that package would look. So you'd be looking at about £79 a month for your, well, it would be £79 a month based on that turnover, up to 80k for your limited company accounts and corporation tax. We've got your director's payroll, we've got your software, which is not actually our cost, we're just recharging it to you, and your personal tax return. However, this might look completely different to your situation. You might not be a limited company, you might be a landlord, it could be a husband and wife partnership. So it really depends on your circumstances. I just wanted to basically show you how we price. That's why we do not give you exact fixed packages on our website, because it's literally like a menu going into a restaurant. In terms of our pricing as a firm, I'm sure you can find people cheaper. If I'm being completely honest, we do not want to be the cheapest firm of accountants in Cheltenham. our thinking is you do not want the cheapest solicitor, because there can be some negative connotations with finding the cheapest, because why is that person the cheapest? What corners are they cutting? What you generally find with driving right to the bottom of the pricing range, you want to get less experienced staff, and you're going to get what I am generalising, it's not always the case, but you're probably going to get what I call box ticking accountants that literally just filling in your forms at the end of the year. That's not what we're about. We're about building a long-term relationship, saving you tax, being someone you can trust. Being an accountant is a really special relationship to business owners and individuals. We take it serious. We build into our service a certain standard. So all of our clients get an annual meeting if they want it. We're not just doing it by email. In fact, we encourage you to have an annual meeting. We want you to come into our office. If you're not local, that's not a problem. We can do it on Zoom, but we still want that annual touch point. We can meet with you far more often. It doesn't have to be once a year. There is the option to do quarterly meetings or even monthly meetings if you're interested in things like management accounts. But in terms of how we price, we see ourselves as pretty much like a Sainsbury's in the supermarket world. There's some people cheaper and some people more expensive, but we want to be good value, and we just feel we found that sweet spot. And one of the things that affects pricing is qualification. So we are actually a chartered, certified firm of accountants. So if you're going with, you probably want to check who they're regulated by and also the experience of the team. So I've been in accounting for almost 20 years, so I've got a lot of experience, and so have two of the other senior accountants in our team, which would be Richard and Lindsay. So hopefully that's helpful. I've probably talked a bit longer than what I expected to, but hopefully you're a bit more informed. If you do want a bespoke quote or want to chat to understand how we can help you, just book an intro call at the top. Thanks. Cheers, guys.